And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. Just a quick one. Slightly hungover, to be honest with you. Game week review so far, but probably a little bit more of a focus on what the hell do I do next. Game week is only just over halfway done, and it is raising more questions than answers, I have to be honest. Not going particularly well so far, as you can see, just the 26 points. As you can see, so still hanging on just barely inside the top 1,999,535. So what's that, about 70,000 of a rank drop, but still retrievable. I think it's actually quite a tight game week. Obviously Haaland has not performed again, but then neither have I think most of the other potential other captains picks where people would have gone, you know, whether it was an Ekatike or something like that. So in that respect, not I guess too much damage done. Certainly raising a lot of questions over Haaland though, isn't it? You know, yeah, especially with the recent Pep comments. Or was it saying himself that he's knackered? You know, so a rest is imminent. Marmouche back. Is it going to come against Wolves? That's going to be a big question. This conversation probably is a little 10-minute one. Talk about the game week so far, some of the questions that it has thrown up, but more look towards game week 23 and what to do. And the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I'm already thinking. I think someone said to me, "Oh, just take the hits and get it done," because the two areas that I have most prominently on my watch list, as you'll have seen in the last videos, was bringing another Chelsea asset and Bruno Fernandes. And obviously, if I just done the hits and done that this week, would have been happy days. But I didn't. It's always the hits that I never take are the ones that always work, and the ones that I do take are the ones that don't work. It is what it is. Game week so far. What are the key talking points? You know, it's a shame. Mukiele, you know, when between my choice of, you know, I went Alderete in the shorter term, because I still have a plan that I do want to bring Mukiele in at some point in the next 4, 5, 6 game work weeks. But Mukiele is still proving the better asset. Obviously, I got an assist, and unfortunately Sunderland did not keep the clean sheet. We'll see how Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Matheus Nunes not even in the squad at all. I need to look into that. Is that a problem? Is that just giving him a full rest? And he'll be back next week. They've obviously got Mark Guehi coming in. A City transfer out this game week had not been on my agenda. In fact, I was probably leaning towards the roll this week, but should I be getting rid of Matheus Nunes and maybe bringing in Mukiele? So yeah, just strength. I'm not sure it's strengthened. Well, I think it may be strengthening things the way City are defending, but it does put more money in the bank. It does put a bit more money in the bank, and as I said, I've got enough minutes risks in the team at the moment without wondering have I got another one there. Tarkowski, we'll obviously see how he performs. Gabriel, picked up his 7 points. I'm going to talk a bit about, that's probably a key piece of this video, is actually talking about Arsenal and is the right choice between, because I think most or all of us are probably going to end up on triple Arsenal. I have gone down the path of double Arsenal attack and single Arsenal defence. That will clearly have hurt, because obviously Arsenal did keep that clean sheet. I don't think they conceded a shot on target. So just for the record, I had a huge one last night. Myself and the missus went out to see friends a long way outside of Auckland, did an overnight up there, so I was having to, in the middle of the night, just follow a little bit on my phone in a very inebriated state, it has to be said. And there was a lot of good and bad in there. And the bad, I guess, is seeing that Saka got benched, and it was like, oh, fuck, fuck's sake, he's gone, Saka's going. And then when I came back and actually just got back a little while ago, I thought, right, just before I go and have a nap, so I'm doing this video before I go and have a little nap, was looking at the highlights. And what the highlights consisted of was about 1 minute of the first 60 minutes and then 4 or 5 minutes of the last 30 minutes when Saka came on. Coulda, woulda, shoulda changed the game. Marvellous save from Sells, set up Rice for a really good opportunity, which he shinned. Had another, he could have had, Rice, nice cross in, that was the header that Sells saved. Could have had 2 goals and an assist in that 30 minutes. Arsenal probably should have won the game comfortably in that 30 minutes. Now that's what I saw. Highlights can be deceptive, but what I saw was Saka running the game, and I don't think, given the importance, that was a great opportunity for Arsenal, obviously. We'll get obviously to the Man United game in a minute. That was a fantastic opportunity for Arsenal to open up a 9-point gap, and Arteta blew it, in my opinion. So I think there's probably going to be a movement. I'm going to think there's going to be a lot of shifting of Saka out. But the fact is that Saka could have had a great assist for Rice. Rice could have had a great assist for Saka. Saka also had another opportunity. Rice had another opportunity. Those two could have mega hauled between them in just 30 minutes. Now, I'm still not saying that a double Arsenal defence is not going to prove to be the correct move, but I don't think on another day Rice and Saka could have blown the Arsenal defence, double defence points out of the water, even with the clean sheet. Wasn't to be. So I don't think it's a case of panicking, and I think Saka's got to go. He's a minute's risk. He may well prove to be, but I think it would be rash to move him out given some of the upcoming fixtures at this point. So he'll certainly be staying. Palmer, okay, kept the faith, got the goal, watched the highlights, didn't see him do a bloody thing apart from the penalty, to be honest with you. Yeah, but got the goal. That's the nice thing with having, playing us on penalties, and obviously played the whole match as well. So again, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that, but obviously quite relieved to get the 9-pointer out of him, or it would really would be. We really would be an utter disaster area at the moment. And as I say, Rice, I know just the 3 points, as you can see him there, but could very easily have been another 10-pointer for Rice there. And Haaland, I watched the Man United City highlights. Highlights. Watching a little 5-6 minute highlight reel can be very, very deceptive. Looked to me as though City had most of the possession and United soaked it up, didn't give them bugger all chances, and were absolutely devastating on the break, and could indeed have had 3 or 4 or 5 goals. So a few offside goals, very close, a couple of offside goals. Woodwork hit a couple of times. The big question I think that comes out of that game, even though the plan is to bring Bruno Fernandes in 24, is do I move that plan up? Do I move that plan up the line? But it's a bad entry point, Arsenal away. But Arsenal will have 50, 60, 70% possession. United on the break, and Mbeumo back. Mbeumo not good. Do we consider a United double up or even treble up, which sounds mental, doesn't it? Absolutely mental. I certainly wouldn't be going there in the short term. But Dorgu, again, just watching highlights. I need to watch a bit more fuller and see what analysis I can get out of it. Looked great, got his goal. I know a lot of people have benched or sold him this week, and totally a valid decision to do it. He looked good. There's a very noisy turtle behind me. What's he doing? And the reason I just wonder about this is new manager bounce, fixtures after Arsenal out of the way, not too bad, and Mbeumo back, Ahmed back, and more importantly, United will only have 1 game a week for the rest of the season. You can be reasonably sure with the right picks, obviously Bruno, maybe Mbeumo, Dorgu, 4.2 million defender who looks as though he could start to nail down that midfield spot. Good bench option if nothing else, for a bench boost somewhere down the line. Thoughts maybe for another day. The big question is, do just get Bruno in now, because again, there's going to be, even with the Arsenal fixture, we know what it's like out there with the transfers this year and the price rise and price drops. There's going to be another clamour for Bruno, and his price is going to go up. No, no real easy answer on that. I might do it. But I suspect I may have to address somewhere else first, and is that the minutes risk around Matheus Nunes. I mean, if we look at the team for next week, it's just down there below me, so I won't move stuff around. Let's just get them both on the screen at the same time for ease of viewing. The team actually looks on paper, it looks pretty bloody good. Brighton, Fulham away, it's not too bad. Verbruggen, he'll make a save point, you know, he'll get a save point or two, you never know. And you never know, you know, there is a bit of a chance there of the clean sheet. I do want to look at the goalkeeping situation. I could do that this week. If I did want to look at Sanchez, I bagged him last week. Well, I didn't bag him, I said, oh, it was put doubt in my mind about Chelsea. I still have doubts in my mind about Chelsea. I think Brentford should have had 1, 2, maybe 3 goals, but they've fluked a clean sheet yet again. And as bad as Sanchez was in the Carabao Cup match, pulled off some absolutely superb saves, to be honest with you, some superb saves. Chalobah, yet again, clean sheet. Was he on bonus? Did he get DEFCON? I haven't looked at his final points. Probably did. Chalobah, as you've seen, very much in my watch list. There's a time maybe to bring in Chalobah, and maybe bring him in for Matheus Nunes, but look at that fixture, Wolves at home. Questions, a lot of questions this week, a lot of questions. But the backline as a whole, you look at that looks pretty good for a game week. All decent DEFCON boys, reasonable fixtures. I know Chow, Aston Villa at home, but it's Newcastle, St James's Park. Looks pretty good. You look at the fixtures again in the midfield. Rice, Man United home. A week or so ago, you'd been saying he had top fixture, 3 or 4 goals for Arsenal. Palmer, yeah, finally. I do think it looks like he's been given the rest and the times off so he can actually focus on the Premier League. Palace away. Palace do look poor. Guehi gone to Guehi. Oh, there's so many Guehis and Guis in this game. Gone to City. You got to fancy there is going to be chances there for him and for Chelsea, and you know, penalty possibilities. Foden, Wolves at home. He's got to be the favourite to go though, hasn't he? He's going to get dropped soon. And it's such an easy move for me just to move Foden out for Bruno and get it done. But will he bite me on the bum? I did say Cunha would bite me on the bum, didn't I, when I moved him out for Rice? It was a small bite on the bum. He got the assist, even though he came off the bench, but he was millimeters away from, you know, 2 assists and maybe even some bonus. But I'm really getting fed up of Foden now. I am sick to death of him. A little bit like Haaland, to be honest with you. I have so many questions this week on the right thing to do. Foden, Wolves at home. It just smacks of one though, if I do it, that he will just haul. But I also, Foden or Haaland is going to get rested against Wolves. One of them is going to get rested. And the problem I have now with my system, here's the other question. The problem, if it is Haaland and he gets a full rest, I have got no one on the bench coming in. So the other question could be, I actually do have the money in the bank. I could move Obi or Barnes up to a something. Now, whether that is a Mane or a Krupi, I don't know. I need to have a look at Bournemouth, obviously, to see what Krupi's minutes are like. That would be a very, very easy move. It might actually be the sensible move, so at least I've got a little bit of cover there for Haaland if he is benched. I have so many questions and I have no answers. I just know I have a hangover. So I'm going to leave you with that. Game week not going well so far, but it's a funny old game. It's very, very tight. As I say, if Saka even scored one of those chances that he had, that 70k red would probably be just about where I am now. So hopefully Chow, Bruno G, or Tarkowski or Verbruggen can bring in some decent points for me. We'll see what happens, but in the meantime, I'm going to bed for a little nap now. Take care, have fun, play your own game, don't panic. hoping for a slightly more positive last 4 or 5 games of this game week. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.